Hello, everyone. Today I have an amazing story for you. It's not just for your listening practice, but also to inspire you. The story is called Nothing is Free, and it will show you that hard work and determination can change lives. There was a young man named Leo who was 20 years old and lived in a small, quiet town surrounded by mountains. Leo had big dreams. He wanted to own a chain of restaurants and become a successful entrepreneur, but life wasn't easy for him. His family was struggling financially. His father, Mark, was a mechanic, and his mother, Claire, cleaned houses to make ends meet. Leo's younger sister, Sophie, was just 10 years old and looked up to him as her hero. One cold evening, Leo sat outside his small house, staring at the stars. He whispered to himself, "I want to give my family a better life, but how do I start when we barely have enough to survive?" The next day, Leo shared his dreams with his father. Mark sighed and said, "Leo, dreams are not free. If you want something, you have to fight for it. Start with what you have, even if it's small." Leo thought deeply about his father's words, and then an idea struck him. He noticed that people in his town loved fresh bread, but had to travel to a bakery far away to buy it. He decided to start selling fresh bread locally. There was one problem: Leo had no money to buy the bread. He decided to take a chance and approach the bakery's owner, Mr. Anderson. Leo walked miles to meet Mr. Anderson, a grumpy old man who rarely trusted anyone. With confidence, Leo said, "Mr. Anderson, I want to sell your bread in my town, but I don't have money to buy it up front. Can you trust me for 1 week? I will sell the bread, return your money, and keep a small profit." Mr. Anderson raised an eyebrow and asked, "Why should I trust you, young man?" Leo replied firmly, "Because I am determined and I will work hard to prove myself." After a long pause, Mr. Anderson agreed. "All right, I'll give you bread for 1 week. If you fail to pay me back, don't bother coming here again." Leo was thrilled. Early the next morning, he carried the bread back to his town and set up a small stand near the park. He greeted every passerby with energy and a smile, saying, "Fresh bread, warm and delicious." At first, people were hesitant because they didn't know if the bread was good, but Leo offered free samples, and soon he had his first customer. By the end of the day, he had sold all the bread and made a small profit. That evening, he returned to Mr. Anderson, paid him back, and the old man nodded with approval. "You kept your word. Come back tomorrow." From then on, Leo worked tirelessly. He woke up at 4 a.m., walked to the bakery, carried bread back to his town, and sold it with passion. After 2 months, he had saved enough money to buy a small cart, making it easier to transport more bread. One day, a customer suggested, "Leo, why don't you bake your own bread? You're good at selling, but if you bake, you'll make more profit." The idea excited him, but it also frightened him because he had never baked anything in his life. At that moment, Leo realized nothing is free. Not success, not knowledge, not growth. If I want to succeed, I must take risks and learn. He couldn't stop thinking about the idea of baking his own bread. If he could bake, he wouldn't have to depend on Mr. Anderson, and his profits would increase. The only problem was that he didn't know how to bake. The next morning, Leo asked Mr. Anderson, "Can you teach me how to bake?" The old man frowned and replied, "Why should I teach you? If you bake your own bread, you won't buy from me anymore. That's bad for my business." Leo answered sincerely, "You're right, but I won't forget the man who gave me my first chance. If I succeed, I'll make sure to help your bakery too." Mr. Anderson thought for a moment and finally said, "Fine, but baking isn't easy. It takes time, patience, and hard work. If you're ready for that, I'll teach you." The lessons began before sunrise. Every morning at 3 a.m., Leo arrived at the bakery, where Mr. Anderson showed him how to mix flour, knead the dough, and bake bread perfectly. At first, Leo struggled. His hands hurt from kneading, and his bread often came out too hard or too soft. One day, after ruining another batch, he sat down feeling defeated and thought, maybe I'm not good enough for this. Maybe I should give up. But then he remembered his father's words, "Dreams are not free." He realized every mistake was teaching him something, and giving up was not an option. The next day, he returned with even more determination. He practiced every step carefully, and little by little his bread improved. After 2 weeks, Mr. Anderson handed him a loaf and smiled. "This is perfect, Leo. You're ready." Leo rented a small oven and began baking bread at home. His family admired his dedication. Sophie helped him pack the bread, and his mother made tea for him while he worked late into the night. Before long, Leo expanded his products and started making cookies and pastries as well. The people in town loved everything he made and often said, "Leo's bread tastes better than anything we've had before." However, success brought new challenges. A young man named Eric opened a large modern bakery with colorful decorations, and many customers became curious and started buying from him instead. Leo noticed his sales dropping and felt worried, but instead of giving up, he asked his customers what they liked about Eric's bakery. Some said it looked cleaner and prettier, while others admired the beautifully decorated cakes. Leo realized he needed to improve not only as a baker, but also as a businessman. Using his savings, he painted his cart, added bright decorations, offered free samples of new pastries, and even learned cake decorating by watching videos in the library. Slowly, his customers returned. One evening, an elderly woman told him, "I've seen many young men give up when times get hard, but you didn't. That's why we trust you." Her words filled Leo with pride. Months later, Leo had saved enough money to rent a small shop. Although it wasn't as large as Eric's bakery, it was warm, welcoming, and full of fresh aromas. He named it Leo's Fresh Bakes. Every morning he woke up before sunrise, baked fresh bread, and opened the shop with a smile. His parents and sister helped him, with Sophie greeting customers and Claire managing the accounts. Leo's bakery soon became the heart of the town. People loved his bread, cakes, and pastries, and business continued to grow. Then one stormy night, disaster struck. As Leo was closing the shop, he noticed smoke coming from the bakery. He rushed inside and discovered a small fire near the oven. Although he managed to put out the flames, much of his equipment was badly damaged. The next morning, the townspeople gathered outside. Some wondered what he would do, while others feared it was the end of his business. Leo was heartbroken, but he refused to surrender. He said to himself, "This is just another challenge. I've faced struggles before, and I'll face this one too. I won't give up." After calculating his savings, Leo realized he couldn't afford to replace all the damaged equipment. Instead of feeling sorry for himself, he visited the retired Mr. Anderson and asked for advice. The old baker smiled and said, "Leo, you already know the answer. You've learned that nothing is free. Work harder, believe in yourself, and people will believe in you too." Inspired by those words, Leo began baking at home again with the little equipment he had left. He promised his customers, "I won't let you down. I'll keep serving you, even if it's only a small amount for now." His determination touched the hearts of the townspeople. Some donated ingredients, others gave money, and many volunteered to help clean and repair the bakery. Leo realized that when people see someone working hard and refusing to quit, they are willing to help. After months of hard work, Leo reopened his bakery. It was better than ever. He painted the walls, added beautiful decorations, and introduced new treats such as cupcakes and muffins. On the day of the grand reopening, the town's mayor attended the celebration and said, "Leo, you are a true inspiration. You've shown us that with determination, anything is possible." Standing before the crowd, Leo replied, "I want to thank every one of you. You've taught me that nothing in life is free, not success, not respect, not love. Everything must be earned through hard work, patience, and persistence. Never let failure stop you, because every challenge is simply another step towards something greater." From that day on, Leo's bakery became more than just a place to buy bread. It became a symbol of hope. People from neighboring towns visited to meet the young man who had never given up. Leo's story reminds us that dreams are not free. They require hard work and sacrifice. Failure is not the end, but an opportunity to learn and become stronger. When you help yourself first, people will notice your effort and support you. Most importantly, never give up, because the darkest moments often come just before success. Leo didn't just build a bakery. He built a life filled with purpose, respect, and pride. And so can you. Whatever your dream may be, never stop chasing it. Remember, nothing is free, but everything is possible.